Hey everybody, just a little heads up, this video is not scripted. I'm not sitting here reading a script out loud because talking about this should be a little more spontaneous. I have notes though, but that's practically it. And if I ramble, mispronounce or anything of the sort, you know why. And please forgive me for that. My English is still not my native language. So there's that. Well, let's begin then, shall we? To start things off, I want to announce that my commissions as of now are open. I have my price chart right over here. You can take a better look at it on my Insta, which is also where you can contact me for orders. You can DM me, but you can also email me with my new email address. And conditions and work process are also mentioned there to make everything clear. Practically everything you need to know. With that said, let's talk about previous experiences. So I would say that this is the first official time I'm opening commissions. But yeah, how can that be? This is the title of the video lying then? Well, yes and no. I have done commissions in the past, but not entirely professional, as to say. I had no price chart and no clear working schedule, policies of when it comes to refunds or anything of that. It has been, I think, 14 years ago, maybe longer, when I was still very active on DeviantArt. And I don't know if commissions paid with DA points still count as such. DA points are still some form of currency on the site, so I would say yes. Most of my orders were paid in points, but I have had 2 or 3 that were paid with actual money. One of them was in fact that's not safe for work one I mentioned in my DA video, which was weird. You can check that out, that story, in that video. Because I wasn't doing commissions on a very professional level, one can say I might have had a bigger chance of attracting scamming people with ill intentions. I've never been truly scammed, first of all, because I am not very a trustful person, especially when it comes to the internet. But I have had people who were very weird and a little hard to cooperate with. One of my orders was from a very loyal follower of mine. She was practically one of the 5 people that were actual fans of my comic series. The first version of Travelers of Monias. That was only present on DA at the time. We were all very good online friends and we drew each other's characters frequently and whatnot. We will call her Sally for the sake of this video. It has been a long time, so I don't have screenshots or anything, but I don't think that's very necessary, because it was a very long time. Sally wanted to commission me and ordered a simple OC line art, full body. And after the agreement in terms of price and payment, I started working on it. So she did pay me front end, always get paid front end. What I didn't do was ask further what her wishes were, what pose, what expression. She didn't send me a lot of references, but a learning point for me here was really ask what a client wants and not just agreeing on a price and after that start to work on it. But I did, and you can probably guess where this is going. As I'm sending the whips to Sally, she was all, "Oh, that looks so good, I already love it," and yada yada yada. Great. And as I was reaching the final product, all of a sudden she started to change the terms. She wanted me to change the pose she at first agreed on. She wants to change that. And her sidekick. She wanted her sidekick to be included. I was a little confused. This was not what we agreed on. But the piece was almost finished after all. But okay, I can change a line art a little bit. So I morphed the piece, I added her sidekick, and when I sent her the updated whip, Sally suddenly also wanted colors and colored lines. I was getting a little irritated. Colored lines are not a walk in the park, especially with the detailed line work I had completed. I had already spent a lot of hours on this piece. And I was asking myself, is this how it's gonna go now? We agreed on this, but now she is demanding upgrades and at the last second, every time I show her a whip, that is practically almost a finished piece. So at this point, I told her that if she can pay me extra for the time it would cost to make this, I for sure can add these things into the final piece. And Sally was like, but why should I pay extra? That's nonsense. You never told me it would cost extra if I were to change my mind mid-process. Can't you do me a favor? We are friends after all. I've been following you for years. How hard is it to draw something anyway? It's practically just putting lines on paper, or in this case on the screen. A little degrading if you think about it. This was weird. I had never experienced her this hostile towards me. After a lot of back and forth, I gave her two options. She gets a refund, or she receives the piece as it is now. And that would be the end of it. Sally agreed on the latter, and she unfollowed me after the fact. I'm sure people who have commissions open are familiar with this. On YouTube I've seen story times about this topic, and experiences similar to this always pop up. And as frustrating as it is, it's nothing out of the ordinary, especially for first-timers. But it was an important lesson for me as well. Communication is very, very important. Have a chart ready, state your conditions and make a clear assignment. If the client then backs out of it or starts to change the order, so you can state that this was not the agreement. And of course always payment front end, never back end. I did that. I'm glad I did that right. So this is how I'm gonna work now. Once you commission me, we are gonna make an agreement, written on paper as well. I will compose a tender, which states that what you ordered and the price. After half payment, I would actually prefer full front-end payment, but it is possible to pay half in advance. And after that has been made, the working process starts. I will whip you several times, and these whips will be low resolution and watermarked. When the final piece is accepted and I receive the other half of the payment, you will receive the final piece a high resolution and without watermark. Seems like a fair deal, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna head out now. I have to work on my other big video, which is gonna be about Phantom Manor. 30 years of Phantom Manor, and I also share 30 years of existence, so that would be a very good opportunity to make a proper video about Phantom Manor. So heads up to that, and have a nice last few weeks of the year. Maybe I will tune in for Christmas with a Christmas special. I'm not completely sure if I will. See you in the next one. I will whip you several times, and these whips will be low resolution and watermarked. Jesus Christ, that was my phone. I'm so sorry.